I have created one microservice. What is that?
Okay.
Department service.
Department
Let me
service.
revise the things quickly. Okay, I have created one microservice. What is that? It's called
Yes,
department
sir.
service. So to interact our microservice, our Spring Boot to the database and to perform the CRUD operations, what are the dependencies we need to add?
In
Client,
department.
client,
Yeah,
client
anytime.
dependent.
So if you want to perform CRUD operations with Spring Boot and microservices, so what are the dependencies we need to add? JPA,
JPA,
Web
web,
MySQL,
and
web, and MySQL,
MySQL
right?
MySQL.
connector job. Yes, sir.
By MySQL connectivity. Can you see here? So these three dependencies we need to add to work with any Spring Boot MySQL CRUD operations. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The first step. So our second step is, so we have to do all the configuration in
Config server.
YAML
Config
file.
Okay.
YAML
Yes,
file.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Right. YAML file. But here, this is application name. So here we have, okay, let me go. Here we are fetching the configuration from which project?
Config
config
server.
server.
Config server. So to fetch the configuration from the config server, so we need to add this statement,
Link of. Yes, sir.
link of that config server. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Because with the help of this, we are able to fetch the configuration from config server. So to fetch the configuration from the config server, in your microservice, what is the dependency you need to add?
Config servers.
Config
Config
server.
dependency.
Yes,
Config
sir.
dependency. I have added this. Okay. And
Client config.
yes, I have added this. And also now created packages, controller, service, entity, and repository.
Yes,
And
sir.
do you know what is entity, right? It will map
Yes,
your
sir.
project class to table name, properties to columns. Okay, this is fine.
ORM.
Yeah. To make this class as a client, what is the to make this class as a Eureka client? What is the annotation you have to use? Enable,
At the
Enable discovery.
discovery client.
enable discovery client. And what is the dependency we need to add?
Eureka client.
Client.
Eureka client dependency we need to add. Right? This is a Eureka client dependency. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Eureka client dependency I've added. And also, what is the configuration you need to add? In department service.
That Eureka the server.
Tell me. So you need to add this
Department
dependency.
service. Okay.
Make it, you need to mention the path of your Eureka server.
Server. Yes, sir.
Yes. So
Yes,
first,
sir.
to register our application to the Eureka server, so you need to add Eureka client dependency. This is the first step. And second step is you need to add annotation call.
Annotation.
What is the annotation call? What is the annotation? Everyone,
Discovery.
please. If you confused, please let me know immediately. So what is the annotation we have to add?
Enable discovery.
But discovery client.
And about discovery client annotation we have to add. And in the configuration, what is the steps
Link
we
of
need
the
to add?
server.
So link of the server. So from
Yes,
where
sir.
you are going to fetch the service registry. So you have to mention that service registry path. This is database configuration. You know, right? This is common configuration. Okay.
Yes, sir.
This is department service. Any doubts in department service microservices? So here in the controller, what you are doing, so simply I will execute all these things, no worries, but let me explain that. The controller, we're saving the department object as well as department ID. Right.
Yes.
So
Yes, sir.
first, and then user service microservice. The user service microservice. So based on what we are doing, so here we are having user data as well as what we are doing. So we are going to fetch the records related to particular user. Means we are going to fetch the department related to particular user. For example, I am the user. I'm belongs to CSA department. So from the user controller, from the user service, I'm going to hit the department service, and from the department service, I'm going to fetch my department details. For example,
Yeah.
I'm the user, my department ID is 1. So what I will do, I will go to my department service and I need to fetch the department details who is having ID as
One.
1, right? So that is the purpose of this user control. And let me show you that. So, and also here, I have used, instead of REST client, I have used friend client. Instead of REST client, I have used friend client. Means, so in REST client, in REST template, what we need to do? Everything. Friend client is the
We
latest one. Okay.
yes, sir.
So instead of REST template, I'm using friend client. Friend client will provide you interfaces. So just it will have we have to declare all the methods in the friend client so that all the methods should be in single place. You can call all these things wherever you want. That is the
Mhm.
advantage of this friend client. In case of REST template, you need to hard code in each and every place, right? So let me show you how to call this. So this is the friend client. You have to get one interface. First, you need to add dependency. What is the dependency?
Client dependency.
Yes, friend client, open friend client dependency. So, okay. And then here, name of your service, to which service you are going to hit. So in my case, I'm going to hit department service, right? Then URL. What is the port number of my department service? 9001.
90.
And then which method I'm going to
Get.
fetch, which method I'm going to call. So same method you have to give over here. You can see if you see department service, get department by ID. We have one method. You can see this one, this method I'm going to call.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, same method you have to mention over here. It's a very
Instead of
simple
REST
one.
template, you are using the client side.
Yeah, instead of REST template, I'm using Frontline because this is the advanced one. REST template got deprecated in Netflix, but some of the versions are not supporting. If you're using higher version like Spring more than 3.4 and so some of the features are not supporting. So that's why better to use Frontline. This is very simple. First, you need to add one dependency. What is the dependency? Open Frontline and create one interface, and then you need to add an annotation called friend client, and you need to mention the name of the service, which service you are going to hit from the user service. From the user service, I am going to hit which service?
Department
Dep-
side.
Department service, right?
yes,
So
sir.
that's the reason I have mentioned this path and what is the path of your URL and which method you are going to call. Means you have to give the entire path. So slash department ID, right? And it is
Yes.
expecting department ID. That method is expecting. So same thing you have to mention over here. And you can call this method from user service. See, let me show you that. I have commented. Can you see here? REST template I have commented. Can you see? I have commented REST template. Instead of that, I'm calling method from department client. And what is the parameter it is expecting? You need to pass that parameter. That's it. It is expecting ID, right?
Yes, sir.
It
Department
is
side.
expecting ID, right? This is the
Mm.
method. It is expecting ID.
Okay.
Right? Same thing I have mentioned. See here. Here also it is expecting ID. After slash, it is expecting ID, right? Slash user dot get department ID. So as a reason, I'm passing slash department ID. Automatically, it will fetch that department. Instead of REST template, you can remove this. Okay. Instead of REST template, I'm using Frontline. To work with Frontline, you need to add one dependency. What is that?
Frontline.
Open
Frontline.
Frontline. So that is one difference. Frontline. And then you need to create one client. Then the client, you have to mention the service name, which service you are going to get, and name of URL of that service, and then what is the path of that method? What is the path? ఎవరబ్బా అంత పొలిటీషియన్ లోపల ఇట్లకెళ్ళండి. Okay, so this is a great. What is the path of that method? And what is the parameter it is that method is expecting? That method is expecting user department. Sorry, department ID. Okay. Department client dot, you get department ID, and what is the value it is expecting? That's it. So in internet, open FinClient will take care of everything. So we no need to outcode anything. FinClient will take care of everything. So this is a way you need to interact with the other services. So already I have explained you this code. The same way, to make this class as a client, we need to add enable Eureka client dependency and enable discovery client, and we have to enable all the friend clients, we have to use enable friend clients. Okay. And in the YAML file, so to fetch the configuration from config server, what is the dependency you need to add? Config server config dependency, right? Hello, am I correct? So to fetch the information from the config server, so we need to add config dependency. You can say here config dependency, config dependency. After that, in the YAML file, you need to mention the path from where to fetch the configuration. Okay, and also to register your user service to the service registry. So what is the configuration you need to add?
Input, config input.
Yeah, config import is used to fetch the configuration from config server.
And
Here,
is
to register your
enable
client to the Eureka server, so you need to mention the path of that Eureka
Server.
server.
Yes, sir.
That's it. So that your service will be registered to the Eureka server. Clear? This is one. Do you have any doubts up to this? So I have shown you how to communicate these two services, and I have shown you how to register.
yes.
Do you know how to register the client? You need to
Yes,
add
sir. Server.
client dependency. Yes, we need to add
Yes,
client
sir.
dependency, and
Discovery
we have to
client.
mention the path of that URL
Yes,
so
sir.
that our services will be registered. And to fetch the configuration from the config server, you need to add config dependency. And in the YAML file, you need to mention the path of that config. Means from where to fetch the configuration.
Yes, sir.
See, if you see user service YAML file, so here I have mentioned that from where to fetch the
Config.
configuration.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
And for your user service configuration, so you have to mention where to register our clients to the service. That's okay. And this is your
Yes.
database configuration. These are the server port numbers. So it's common, right?
Yes, sir.
And now API gateway. What is the purpose of? Do you have any doubts? So how two services communicating using friend client to communicate our services? So using friend client to work with friend client, you have to use open friend dependency. You need to use one dependency, and
Open.
you need to add one annotation enable
Annotation.
friend client,
Yes,
and
sir.
then you need to create one client. This client will have all the methods of your department service. So means this interface should have service name, which service you are going to be hit, and URL of that service, and then which method you are going to be hit, and means that part of that methods. Everything you
So
have to mention.
a new package we have to make in the name of the
Yeah,
client.
yes, I have created new package client.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so this is a friend client. So
As
that
many clients we can
you have to get those many clients. So this one will hit only department service. In future, if you are going to hit another service, so you need to create one more client with that service, and you can mention all the methods of that service. Here, from the department service, I'm calling only one method,
Yes, sir.
right?
Department by ID. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm calling only one method. From the department service, if you want to call one more method, you need to create one more method here
Okay,
of your
sir.
department service,
Yes.
along with
Okay.
the path, along with the path. From the user service, I'm calling only one method of department service. But if you want to call one more method of your department service, you have to mention the method name here again, along with the path. And directly you can call that
Sir,
inside your
but why
service
we
here.
are calling this here, sir? Means some
Instead of REST template, this is advanced features.
okay.
That means
For
With
this
rest
REST
advanced
template,
template,
we
we
have
were creating object and
REST template got deprecated in Netflix. We can use
okay.
REST template also. It got deprecated for some of the
and
features.
also that's a lengthy process.
Then the process, yeah, everything, all the things will be in a single place.
Okay, yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, in future, if you want to change anything, directly you can come to here and you can change over here.
To call with
Okay,
rest
okay, sir.
template
Okay,
lines
sir.
of code also more.
Yeah. So here you can simply you can write you can call the method so that everyone can understand which method is being called everything. In REST template, we are not mentioning any method names and all, right? Just we are mentioning the path.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yes.
So
part
this
on
is
the
okay. REST template got duplicated for advanced Spring Boot versions. Clear? So very
yes.
simple. I need to add one dependency and one
The
client
function.
for what is
Uh,
the service name, URL of the service, and which method is being called. So if
yes,
you
sir.
are calling, I'm calling only one method, right? That's the reason I use this one. If you are calling multiple methods, then we should use, then we have multiple methods inside the client. So that you can call this method directly. If you say
Okay.
REST template, you have to write in URL in each and every place. Here we are writing the URL in only single place. Now you can call this method wherever you want.
Okay.
So no need to write this URL multiple times. If you say REST template for object, for example, if you want to call this method for multiple places, so you need to call that URL in multiple places.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay? So you can same functionality you can achieve with the help of REST template also. Okay. That's right. So to work with frontline, you need to add one dependency, and what is that? You need to add one dependency. After
And
that, and
annotation.
enable and then you need to create one client which will have name
Yes,
of the
sir.
service, whereas and
And the
methods,
URL.
which
Yes, sir.
which method you are going to be called, and same method you can call instead of REST template. You can see instead of REST template, I'm calling department client dot get department ID. That method is expecting after slash it is expecting department ID, right? So same way I'm taking user dot get department ID. Again, same logic already which I have explained. Okay, now you are clear with right how to create multiple services and how to communicate those multiple services and how to register. Yes, it's for everyone, guys. So let me ask you again. So this is the last thing. Last time I'm going to tell you guys. So to work with Springboard, so what are the dependencies we need to add to work with Springboard with MySQL, JPA,
And web.
web? That is the one thing. This is the first step. So if you are well now how many microservices are created? User service and
Uh,
Department service.
department service.
Department
department.
service.
Those two are microservices, right? Nothing but Spring Boot project only. So
Yes.
internally, how here what I'm doing? So I'm creating user object, department object. So my intention is I have to fetch the department details related to particular user.
Yes, sir.
Okay, for example, I am the user, my ID is one. So I want to fetch my department details from my department service.
Table. Yes, sir.
Yes, department service. Then it will go to department table only, right? From the
Yes, sir.
department service. So that is what my intention. Okay, now what I'm doing, guys, for that, so how you are going to communicate? So means if you pass the department ID, so it go to the department service. For the department ID, it has to fetch all the details
Of the
related to
department.
this user, related to this
Yes, sir.
user.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Already you got the user object here. Line number 38, you got the user object by passing the user ID. And then from that user, I'm the user. My department ID is let's say one. So I'm passing my department ID to the department service. So it will go to department service and it will fetch all the department details related to my ID.
Yes, sir.
So at line number 44, you got the department also. And finally, at line number 45 and 46, where by using with the help of setters, I'm setting user object as well as department object.
Right now.
Yes, I'm adding user object as well as department object.
Department.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any doubts here?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Sir, in
So-
REST template, we have to mention the link here, but
Forget about the
in,
REST template. Forget about the REST template. Okay.
sir, difference.
Now to work with friend client. So what is the annotation you need to add? Open friend client. Okay,
Oh,
open friend client annotation you need to add.
Dependency.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
sorry, open friend client dependency you need to add. And what is the annotation you need to add? At the rate enable
Enable friend client.
friend client. And you need to create one interface. So that interface should be added with
The service and
Friend client.
its
Client.
at the rate friend client. And you have to mention of your service, which service you are going to be hit, and what is the URL of that service, and which methods you are going to be called, and what are the parameters that method is expecting. So everything you have to mention here inside the interface, and you can call this method wherever you want with the help of this object. You can see I have used AutoWrite for this department client. You can see AutoWrite. With the help of this department client, I call the methods of that interface. So now you can call this one instead of see if you use this template. If, for example, if you want to call the same method in some other place, again you need to write the same code, right? You need to use the
yes,
URL
sir,
again.
URL and all.
Everything you have to write again.
Yes, sir.
But here you have, everything should be in a single place. You can call them wherever you want because all URLs and service names, everything you have mentioned in single place and methods. And also others, it will be very easy to understand which method we are calling and what are the parameters it is expecting. So it will be very easy to understand readable format.
Yes, sir.
So this is a way you need to communicate your microservices. This is the second step. So you understood how to create the Spring Boot project, and you understood what are the dependencies we need to add, and you need to understood what are the how to communicate two services. Any doubts up to this?
No.
No, sir.
Right? Now, after that, we need to create one service registry. What is the purpose of service registry?
It will be act
To
as a
register
server.
service, multiple services to create record of the services.
Yes, correct. So with the
To
help of
store all
service,
our services in one place.
yeah, with the help of service registry, we can register all your services in single place. So you can register all your services because uh, because in advantages I will tell you in future like if you want to travel the request, it will travel the request from the service registry only. Okay, so means we have to register all the services in single place. What is that? Service
Service
registry.
registry.
To make this project as a service registry, this is simple Spring Boot project. But to make this project as a service registry, what is the dependency we need to add? Eureka
Client server, sir.
Client server.
server.
Eureka
Eureka server
server.
dependency. Eureka server dependency we need to add. So that this will act as a Eureka server.
Server.
And this is simple Spring Boot project. To make this as a server, what is the annotation we need to add? Enable Eureka.
Enable Eureka
Enables
server.
Eureka server.
Enable Eureka server. So that this will act as a
Server.
Eureka server.
Server.
Fine. So that's it. We don't need to do anything. And in the in the YAML file, so what you need to do? Server port number is common because every Spring Boot application will have different port number, right?
Port number, yes, sir.
Server port number and what is application name,
Name.
and this is register with registration file means it will act as a server,
It,
not
not
it will
client.
act as a client.
Yes.
Okay, not a client. So that's the reason false. And what is the URL of your service registry?
Yes, sir.
So this is the configuration you need to do in your service registry YAML file. Any doubts here?
Yes, sir.
So first you need to add one dependency, Eureka server dependency we need to add. And second one, so you need to add an annotation called Eureka server. And in the YAML file, you need to this is a common, first two is common, application server port number is common. And here you need to mention the URL of your
server.
server. Okay. So this is a configuration we need to do, and that's fine. Now service registry will act as a server. Now here who are the clients?
What's that?
Service registry is a server. Who are the clients?
Department service and user
Department
service.
service and user.
Service.
Department service and user service. These two are the clients. These to make these two are the clients. What is the annotation you need to add?
So first dependency, the
Activate
Eureka
discovery.
to
Enable discovery plan.
Enable discovery client. And what is the dependency we need to add? Eureka
Eureka
client.
client.
Eureka client.
Okay. And then in the configuration, and the configuration, sorry, in the YAML file, the configuration, what is the configuration you need to add? You need to mention the path of that service registry. You have to mention that, otherwise, how it is going to be registered into the
Yes,
server.
sir. Yes, sir.
You have to mention, you have to inform to the client, right? Please go to the server and register. You have to mention that. Okay, this is your configuration. You have to mention to the client that please go to the server and register. The same way for user service. Okay, understood how to register the clients to the server?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, dependency, annotation, and in the configuration you need to mention the path of that service registry. Okay, now coming to config server. So how to register, sorry, how to configure your configuration to the config server? For that, you need to add a annotation called config client in your department service as well as user service. What is the annotation you
Yes.
need to add?
Dependency
Config client.
Config.
What is the, sorry? What is the dependency you need to add?
config
Config
client.
client in
And
department service as well as user service.
User service.
Okay, and also you need to mention the path of that your config server from where to import.
Yes, sir.
From where to import. You have to mention the path of that. Okay. After that,
Mm.
in the config server, to make this project as a config server, you have to add a dependency called config server
Config
dependency,
server.
and you need to add an annotation called enable config server so that it will act as a config server. And then in the YAML file, just see here,
Sir.
native means all the configuration should be in your local. And class name, sorry, file name and your service name should be same. So department service related configuration should go here, and user service related configuration should be here, go here.
Yes, sir.
So you have to mention import, config import in your application. Clear, right? Any doubts up to this?
No, sir.
No, sir.
All right. Okay. Now, what is the purpose of API gateway?
It, when any request goes through API to the
So
particular
instead of
service.
hitting the services directly, so every request will reach as API gateway first, then it will traverse to the particular service.
Service.
So for that, what is the annotation you need to add? Sorry, what is the dependency you need to add?
Sir, gateway
Gateway dependency. So you need to
actuator
add,
and all. Yes, sir.
yeah, here I'm not, I've added values directly here. No worries. Okay. Okay. I have added gateway dependency, right? And to register our API gateway to the Eureka server, what is the dependency you need to add? Eureka
Eureka client.
client. And what is the annotation we need to add to make this class a Eureka client? Is it
And the red discovery client. Enable
client
discovery client. Yes, sir.
class so that your API gateway will be registered to your application. And on the YAML file, what is the configuration you need to do? You have to mention the port number, application name. You have to
And
mention that where to
yes,
register.
sir.
Okay, here
Link
here
on
we are
the
not fetching the
server.
configuration from the config server. Okay, already you know that concept, right? So that's why I'm not
Yes, sir.
fetching. Okay, and here cloud gateway routes. If the path starts with departments, then it will be go to which service? Department
Department service.
service. If the path starts with the users, now it
It
will
will
go
be
to
user service.
user service. Okay, now here we have covered how microservices will be created and how microservices are going to be communicate with the help of friend client, right?
Yes,
And
sir.
then I have covered how the clients are going to be registered to the service registry, and then how the configuration will be added to the config server, and then how the request will be travel to the
API.
API gateway. So now let me run all these things one place, and also I will show you one more concept here. Jipkin server. What is the purpose of Jipkin server? To trace all the logs, we have to use
Jipkin.
Jipkin server. All the logs should be stored inside the Jipkin server.
Jipkin server.
Logs means only my
Yeah.
services will contain logs, right? API
Yes,
gateway
sir.
just to route the service, so just to route the URLs. Config server just to configure the just to contain the configuration. Service
Yes,
registry
sir.
just to register the services. But
Yes,
all
sir.
actual logic should be stored inside the
Jipkin server.
log to keep the statements in some location. What is that location here? In our case, Jipkin.
This is different. He's saying about
So
logger.
we are
I
using
have skipped
Jipkin server.
before things and I come here
Understood?
randomly.
Here we are using Jipkin server to trace all the logs.
Logs.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Actual business logs should